Hello everyone. In this session, we want to take a look at encrypting file system known as EFS. EFS is a feature that can encrypt files that are stored on a partition that is formatted as an NTFS partition. When a file is encrypted, it means that you have a second level of security besides the NTFS permissions or the share permissions that you would put on files. So you can encrypt a local file, a file stored on your computer, or you can also encrypt a shared folder on your network. And this gives you, like I said, an additional layer of security, because if you have a shared file, you would already have your permissions given by your administrator for that file. Whether you have read-write permissions, whether you have full control. But when you take your laptop home and you're no longer connected to the network, then those share permissions that your network administrator gives you don't apply. So you might want to have a second layer, which is now the EFS security layer that you can use to encrypt your data. There is no administrative effort that you need for encrypting a file. As a matter of fact, the user can simply right-click on the file and encrypt that file. Let's look at how simple it is to encrypt. We're going to click on File Explorer, and we're going to go to the local C drive. And here we have a file called test1, and we want to encrypt this file. So we're going to right-click on the file, click on Properties, and then we want to come to the right-hand side here in the bottom corner, and we want to click Advanced. And here you see Encrypt Contents to Secure Data. So all we need to do is to click on the checkbox to the left of Encrypt Contents and click on OK. Then we want to click on OK to close that box. And here, look, the file is encrypted. How do I know? The file changes color. It is now green. Let's take off that encryption and see if the file will change back to its original color of black. We're going to right-click on the file again, click on Properties, click on Advanced. We're going to remove that encryption, and we're going to click OK, and click OK to close the property box. And there you see we have test file 1 has changed back to its original color. So you can unencrypt that file. But remember I said, if your administrator wants to disable EFS, meaning that if the administrator disables EFS, then you will not be able to encrypt your file. And the administrator can do that through group policy management. Now we are back here at the file that we encrypted. And we want to take a look at how we would recover an EFS encrypted certificate if it's lost. So let's say a user encrypted a file by using EFS, and that user loses the private key for any reason. Then you want to make sure that you can access that file. And you can only access the file if you have a private key. When the user encrypts the file, a private key is created on that file. And the private key is part of the user certificate that is used for encryption. One way that we can make sure that that file can be accessed again by another user if that user has lost a certificate, or even if the user is not available, we can back up that user certificate as one method of recovering the encrypted file. Once you back up that certificate, then you can give that certificate to someone else to use. So if John Brown had encrypted a file, a certificate would be created for him with a key in it. And what we would do if we had backed up that certificate, we could then import that certificate into another user's profile and allow that user to decrypt the file. But a better method for recovering encrypted files is to make use of what we call a recovery agent, an individual who is authorized to decrypt all EFS encrypted files. In our next session, we will be taking a look at the recovery agent. This is the end of our session on EFS, encrypting a file or a folder. And I want to thank you for listening.